Thank you for the coin, my adoring audience. But I must take a moment to myself. Fear not, though. I will be back momentarily. Greetings. Are you here alone? Hello? Somebody home? Oh, no need to get angry with me, kind sir. I was just asking out of politeness, but you seem to be here alone. No, there isn't a single thing wrong with that. I'm just a little surprised. Most people traveling through these parts are either part of a group, like bands of adventurers, treasure hunters, bandits, or regular merchants, or something mundane like that. Even people traveling usually go in groups so they can protect each other on their journeys. You don't look like any of those. Except maybe a bandit or something. I mean no offense, it's just you look a little rough around the edges currently, and your demeanor isn't helping your case. If you want to be seen as an adventurer or hero or something, you should firstly be more approachable. Of course that's important. Don't you ever listen to songs with stories of old? Adventurers are looked up to for their strength, bravery, and typically their kindness. Though for you, you should just work on not being overwhelmingly intimidating. I'll have you know I am an expert. I'm a bard. Tales of heroic feats are my bread and butter. Plus, being Elven has its advantages in this field. I have a couple 100 years of such stories in my head to fall back on. Not just anyone can boast that. What is your aspiration in this lifetime? You heard me. Why are you out here in the great wide world filled with danger? No one just wanders for the sake of it. You either want to make something of yourself, or you are running from something. Maybe it's your past or your responsibilities. Regardless of what it is, there is a reason why you're out here. My reasons? You're deflecting from your own plight, but I will answer your question. I am a mixture of both. I think nearly every bard that exists desires to make something of themselves. I mean, our mutual drive is to entertain, to perform. In regards to the latter, I'm sure you know elves live for hundreds of years. Who knows how old some of elven kind has reached? I have a history I'm not eager to confront just yet. Surely, though, you haven't come to the Flask and Sword to listen to a stranger's sob story. Though, in your perfect world, you would have wanted me to leave you alone. Unfortunately, I'm not the type to back away simply because someone's a bit intimidating. You're stuck with me until I have to get back up and sing for my room and board. Yes, I made an agreement with the innkeeper here for a week or so. I provide entertainment for patrons if they let me have a room and dinner. It's a fine arrangement for me while I figure out where my journey continues. What? Well, coin isn't that much of an issue for me. I live frugally in my day-to-day, regardless of what my attire might indicate to you. And you'd be surprised how many patrons are willing to toss a coin my way for the music I provide. It's quite kind of them. As for my future, I'm not quite sure. The last group I was with disbanded. It wasn't anything serious. We separated amicably after our journey together. It was something. I'm not much for planning, so I'll just join the right person when they come. I'm sure I'll find them. What about you? Do you have a plan from here? Surely you must be headed somewhere. Oh, you're headed to Lakeshore? No, I haven't been through there. But I've heard from plenty others that they often pass through there while on their way to Arkala. Are you going to continue on to Arkala? I mean, it is the largest city. More opportunities for nearly everyone. That, or it's the closest city from here with a port. Some people seek passage in to find opportunities far away from here. So you are trying to get to Arkala. Do you have any connections? Connections get you work, which in turn gets you coin. For example, if I went to Arkala, I have a couple of connections with a few innkeepers. I make the same sort of deal with them as I do here, and I'm set for room and board for a couple of weeks. Then, when I'm entertaining in taverns and inns, I can make connections with the patrons there. People happy on alcohol and music tend to be more conversational and willing to form acquaintanceships. Though on the rare occasion that doesn't work, I have friendships I maintain in the city. Usually they're always willing to lend me a hand. It's not a nightmare to know so many people. Or at least it's far from a nightmare for me. I would think it would be rather counterproductive to be a bard that dislikes people. I mean, a major characteristic of a bard is charisma after all. Though there's always exceptions. I once met a bard that was completely charismatic in front of an audience, but one-on-one he was rather rude. Tended to constantly pelt me with sarcastic comments about my demeanor when I wasn't doing anything to purposely aggravate him. It was like the only reason he let me keep him company was so he could amuse himself picking me apart. Needless to say, he was different to be around. I think he liked me well enough, though. I mean, most people like me in the end, even if they don't state it outright. I can tell. Don't give me that look. The fact you haven't scared me off yet must mean you don't mind my presence as much as you want me to think. It's alright. I won't foil your tough guy persona. I'll keep the information to myself. I can keep my mouth shut for your information. I'm just sociable, not a blabbermouth. So, are you really continuing on with this plan to become a hero? Alright then. What is your first step once you get to Arkala? You don't know? You have to have some notion of what you're doing. Oh my. I know what you need. A guide in the ways of heroism. In other words, you need me. Wait, hear me out, please. Look, you want to make something of yourself, right? If anyone should know what constitutes a hero, it would be me. Aside from that, I have connections for nearly everything. I know innkeepers, shopkeepers, town leaders, sailors, you name it, I will find someone that can help you out. All I want in return is protection, and to be the first to write songs and stories about you. Yes, that's all I want. The wilds are a bit too dangerous for me to be wandering about alone. And in reference to the latter, watching someone rise to the status of hero, I could think of nothing better. Besides, it's mutually beneficial. If my songs spread throughout the land, then so too will your name and feats. So, what say you, hero? Thank you. Oh, I'm so excited. This will be a proper adventure. Not like the last one I went on. Oh, that's not important. Are you set up with a room tonight? No. Oh, goodness. We have to remedy that. Unfortunately, I think the rooms are filled. I suppose it can't be helped then. Do you want to rest in my room? What does that look for? Oh, hush. You're making this into a much bigger situation than it is. I barely used the room to begin with. Well, I would like to think of you as the type of man who wouldn't take advantage of me. I mean, I'm putting my faith in you as a traveling companion. But I hope you know I am far from being a completely vulnerable maiden. I wield magic. It's enhanced by my ancestry and musical capabilities. So worry not. I can take care of myself one-on-one. Anyway, you probably haven't gotten any good rest lately. Take my key, and go rest when you're ready. I won't be needing it for a while anyway. I have to go entertain the people. I'll speak to you more later, hero.